Hey guys, luigifan here, and today is Sunday. So, unlike most Sundays, I'm actually going to upload a creepypasta video today. Unless it's Monday, in which case I'm going to feel very stupid. Today I'm going to be doing creepypasta, another Pokemon creepypasta, because I'm a Poketuber. And, well, what would a Poketuber be without Pokemon? Exactly. And this one is called Glitchy Red. I'm going to read it, all the way. I'm not going to summarize it because I find it much better and easier to understand if I read the entire thing, even though it's pretty lengthy. But if you are watching this video and you got the time, I'm sure you won't mind. About a month ago, I bought a second Pokemon Red cartridge off of eBay so I could start a new game and screw around without messing up my save file. As soon as I compared it to my old one, I knew it was either a bootleg or produced somewhere else. You can see in the picture how the sticker doesn't fit in the front of the cartridge. Well, yeah, you can't really see the picture, but, no, the sticker does not fit the front of the cartridge. I might show a picture of it on the screen. There. And the red plastic is cheap and almost see-through. If you look close, you can see the internal battery on the second, while the first can't be seen through at all. When I started it up, it only had one option, new game, and unlike the well-loved cartridge I'd been using, it didn't have any wear marks from being inserted into a GBC or anything indicating it'd been used. Well, I figured I'd poured plenty of money into the franchise, and one bootleg game wasn't going to kill me. I popped into my Game Boy Color and started playing. Sorry, I had trouble reading that first sentence there. A couple weeks ago, I lost my Game Boy Color for a while, so I had to play it on my SP. No huge deal, I thought. When I started the game up, oddly enough, the backlit screen of my SP went out, like I was playing an old Game Boy Advance or a Color. I thought that was pretty weird, considering the lower setting of my SP screen was brighter than the high setting on all my friends' SPs. As I took good care of it, and it wasn't unlikely that the backlight would be going anytime soon. But as soon as I switched to playing Sapphire, the screen lit back up. I'd played my other red on this SP plenty, and it never dimmed for an old Game Boy game, so I just attributed it to the game itself being poorly made, which makes no sense, I know. About now, you're probably wondering when I'm going to start telling you about how there were unknown in my party and the buried alive guy in Lambertown started eating my player character, because any pre-owned bootleg game story is bound to be some creepy hacks. Star, 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 star. I'm gonna guess that's censored out. Well, it wasn't that simple. I played through Levertown, the Pokemon Tower, all of that, and nothing unusual happened. I didn't go mad from the music and feel suicidal. My Pokemon never turned white and started crying tears of blood or anything like that. However, as I continued playing, it became apparent to me that this game had some glitches. Just like cheap plastic casing and sticker that barely stuck, the game itself was flaky. I never played Pokemon on an emulator before, but if I had to guess, I would say that it was copied. A lot of the data was corrupted, and to be careful when I'm playing, or it would freeze. For example, sometimes the graphics around the player, I'm going to call him Red, as that's what I named him. I'm a bit of a Red fanboy. I am as well. Would turn into big colored bars, and the game would stop. Then the background music would stop on whatever note it had and hit and play this high-pitched, staticky whine until I restart. This happened whenever I tried to get on my bike inside a cave or a building. I was almost sorry. My allergies are acting up, so I'm gonna be my nose is gonna be a little weird sounding with me breathing in, and I'm going to have more of a congested type of voice. I was almost sure this was just a normal bootleg until I examined the SNES and sold it on a department store. Don't judge me, but being a Red fanboy, I've always liked when the game said things Red's point of view, like how he says, "Dad would like this." When you examine the SNES, or I should get going, when you examine the TV. Since you never get to see the player say anything, to the point where, as a joke, the developers made Red say nothing more than ellipsis when you encounter him in gold, silver, and crystal. It means he's has a bunch of dots and doesn't say anything. Anyways, when I examined the SNES where Red would normally say, Dad would like this, instead I saw the text, Where is Dad? I examined it again, and the same thing. I kind of laughed it off, thinking for some reason it was a poor translation. Don't ask how I thought that made any sense. In the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping for a hacked game, because, hey, if I got some screen caps and posted them on 4chan, I'd be able to at least kill an afternoon laughing about it. I went to the next floor, then went back down and checked the SNES again. To my surprise, the message had changed. Now Red said, Who created me? At this point, I was pretty sure this has been added in by some hacker, and I thought that was kind of awesome. Red finding out he was really just a video game character, that's pretty funny. After that, and after failing to find any other added in dialogue, I continued on to the game's story. At that point, I was about near the part where you surf to Cinnabar and the Sea Foam Islands. But the glitching was getting worse. Sometimes the map would get distorted, like Glitch City, and Red would be surfing on a tree or a house or something, and I couldn't move. I had to fly out and try again. As a kid, I'd always liked doing Missing No in Glitch City, and I had a Game Shark back in the day, so the glitches were kind of cool. Eventually, it made it to Cinnabar. Now being an avid glitcher way back when, of course, the first thing I did was fly back to Viridian and do the old man trick. But no matter how many times I tried, I could never get Missing No to appear. I thought maybe the ROM had been edited to prevent glitching, but that clearly wasn't the case, as the thing had more bugs than Viridian Forest. Instead, when I entered the Pokemon Mansion, I was greeted by the following text. Nice try, Red. It was obvious that where Red would be the name of whatever you named your player. What freaked me out was Red in all caps as the speaker. At this point, I know I have an edited game. The player character was telling me nice try after I'd failed to do Missing No. The game froze then, and I restarted it. I hadn't saved since before I tried to get the Missing No glitch, but when I turned the game back on, I was back on the mansion, exactly where the window had popped up. I couldn't move again, so I went ahead and played through the mansion. But despite my excitement, I was scared, so I played slowly, and with all the lights on, I was still playing on my SP. And the internal light still didn't work, so I used that as justification for me being a massive... Why did he gotta add words I don't want to say on my channel on this? Anyway, things only got weirder. After I left the mansion, I got a message. This is coming from the PA. Ding dong! Time's up. Your Safari game is over. Having done Glitch City in the past, I knew this happened whenever youth flew out of the Safari Zone. As expected, I was outside the Safari Zone game and gate the next time I hit A with the attendants asking me if I got a good haul. I had an immense feeling of foreboding when I went to leave the gate, scared I'd be in Glitch City or even worse. I had a flyer, but you have to understand, this is a little unnerving. Instead, I was in Pallet Town, but there was no music, nothing. Another text window appeared. This is coming from Red. This isn't where I'm from. I've been lied to. I couldn't move my player after that, so I went to reset. But something stopped me. Instead, I opened the start menu and went to fly. Seriously, people. Stop. If I'm going to read creepypastas, I don't want to be swearing. I know creepypastas are more based towards adult, but still, I don't want to be swearing on my channel. But to my honor, the Pidgeotto I used... Pidgeot, not Pidgeotto. Pidgeot I used to fly wasn't there. Just my Blastoise, Exeggutor, Kadabra, Mew, from the Nugget Bridge glitch, and Kangaskhan. In Pidgeot's place was a level 16 Raticate with 1 HP. It was poisoned. I checked its stats. It had the OT Blue and new Hyper Beam, Quick Attack, Glare, and Skull Bash. I don't even know if Raticate can learn all of these moves. I have since heard that Gary's Raticate died seriously in the game, but I had named Gary Douche in this game for a few laughs. I guess the OT name Blue came from the fact that blue is the opposite version to red. Like maybe it was supposed to have come from a blue cartridge. I know Ratata doesn't evolve until level 20, so this was a pretty obvious hack. I had some antidotes and potions in my bag, so I figured, oh my god, people, I'd heal it. But when I left the Pokemon menu, the entire start menu closed, and I couldn't open it up again. I tried walking, and this time I was able to move. I took a few steps, forgetting about the poison until a box opened up again. And it's coming from Red. We killed it. At this point, I was getting a little freaked out. I went to my party and Raticate wasn't there at all. Neither was my Pidgeot. The slot was empty. I closed the menu and tried to move again, but nothing. I didn't want to turn the game off in case it had something saved. In case it had somehow saved again. So I just kept trying to move before remembering that my Kadabra still knew teleport. When I hit start, nothing happened. I kept trying to move, but I couldn't move. No, Red wasn't letting me move. Another text box appeared. Red was saying this. He said, "This happened to me. Why?" At that point, I just shut the game off. I took the hacked Red version out and put in Fire Red, like my old game. I named the player Red, and for some reason it still kind of scared me. I started up, and to my honor, the screen was still dimmed. I hit continue on the main menu, but when I tried to open my game, I got the message saying that my save data had been lost or corrupted. And when I started, the game froze, with the music just being a staticky whine. At this point, I was really desperate to play some Pokemon, where nothing weird was going on. And when I was mad, I'm not going to say the swearing, because like I said before, I don't want swearing on channel, that my Fire Red version was broken, so I threw in Sapphire and started up. The screen lit up normally. I thought for a moment that maybe something was wrong with my SP that broke my Fire Red, and I didn't want that happening to my Sapphire with the from Colosseum and the Phoebus that taken me an hour to find, so I shut it off and pulled it out. I started playing what I call Glitchy Red version about a week ago. When I started it back up, I was still in Pallet Town, and there was music and things seemed normal, except for the empty slot in my party and my SP screen no longer lighting up. I liked the Viridian and found Pidgeot safely in my PC, so I figured, what's the Chuck Norris, and took it out and flew to Cinnabar to fight Blaine. When I went to unlock gym, surprise, another text box. Unlock the gym, surprise, another text box. This is going from Red. No. No matter how many times I tried, the game refused to believe I had the secret key despite it being right there in my bag. Red wasn't letting me in. Another text box appeared. This Red saying this. Everything that happened to me happened because the world let it happen to me. I didn't become a hero on my own. I was manipulated. I never unlocked that door. The door was unlocked because the game let me in. Everything you do because the game lets you. Because of how the text boxes were, it took a really long time to scroll through. And the whole time I was writing down what he was saying, so I had it on reference. Things were getting a little too Silent Hill for me. And once again, I tried to move, but Red wouldn't let me in. No, the text box were here, Red sings. I'm going to show you how it feels to be unable to choose your own fate. I gave up and opened the start menu again, glad that I could, and used Pidgeot to fly out of there. I knew now that this was only because Red was letting me fly out. He was toying with me. I flew to Lavender because, shockingly enough, nothing weird ever happened there. From Lavender Town, I walked down to try to find Fuchsia. I'm sorry, I'm new to Pokemon. I don't know how to pronounce all their names. But as soon as I left Lavender, Red was at it again. No. Well, I thought I opened. Well, screw that line. I'm not even gonna say it. I opened the menu and flew to Fuchsia, if that's how you pronounce it. When the I got there, I nearly I'm gonna say crapped, just because crap my pants and dropped my SP. It was the glitch city you get when you're super along Santa Barbara's coast. Immediately the menu popped up the way it does when you do the Mew glitch, and it was asking me to save the game. There was no option for no, and pressing B did nothing. I shut my game off. When I started back up, I was still in Glitch City. I checked my party, then the way Red wanted me to. Pidgeot and Kadabra were there, but instead of Teleport and Fly appearing when I selected them, there was only Cursed, not Cursed, like in that retarded creep black pasta, but Cursed. I was smart enough to not to select it. I hit B until I was out of the menu, and Red was telling me stuff again. It's coming from Red, yet again. You're staying here with me, Red. They replaced me because I was glitched and not good enough. I thought this was my story, but I'm just a character in a video game. They took everything from me. My voice, my freedom, my legacy. They replaced me with the brown-eyed kid. I understood now how he meant Fire Red version and the Gold and Silver and Crystal versions where he'd been demoted to the final boss. He let me move, and to my surprise, the game never froze, even as I was walking on water and stepping on the houses. Eventually, I suppose I went too far, because the screen turned black around my player. Red asked you a question, am I a joke to you? A yes-no option popped up. I can't tell you how fast I hit no. Another text box, Red talking, you know drill. Then why do you do these things to me? Why do you corrupt my world and show me glitches that aren't meant to be? Why do you want to hurt me with missing no? I never wanted to hurt Red. It was just for fun. The game had bugs, and we've all just exploited them for fun, right? Another text box, Red. Why did I have to die? Just because I'm a hero? I shut off my game. That night, I had a dream where I was a Pokemon trainer. The player from Fire Red, who I'll never again think of as Red. I was being chased by a white pale body. While I can't feel pain in my dreams, I know some people can. The pale figure eventually caught me and ripped my chest and the sides with his nails. The last thing I saw before I woke up was the face of my attacker, a little boy with bright red eyes, black hair, and a red and white hat. For the next few days when I played, it was because I had to. I was trapped in blackness because Red refused to let me go, because he was forsaken and forgotten, left to just be abused by players who come back out of nostalgia and to exploit the bugs. Because I played so much, I almost always had a headache from that high-pitched noise that the game would make. I had to call out of work sick. I could never move, but I found comfort in staring at the screen with the black background in my player. Red didn't say anything to me. I couldn't play Fire Red again, even though it worked on my DS. Yesterday I finally got to Mount Silver on Heart Gold, and I couldn't bring myself to battle Red. I don't know what he'd do to me if I beat his replacement. Wait, would he be angry? Happy? Would his defeat put his spirit at peace? I don't know. No matter how many times I play through the games, Red will suffer the same fate, because he is a hero, and because the games let him only go so far. Red will never again be able to experience the glory of being a hero, and neither will me. No matter how many times you start a game, it will never be the same as the first you played. You know what's going to happen, and play for nostalgia, because it's just a game to you now. I killed Red, and so did you. Unlike Ash Ketchum... Sorry, give me a second. Sorry about that. I had to... my brother was screaming, and you don't want to hear that. I killed Red, and so did you. Unlike Ash Ketchum, he's never going to be the hero of another game in a brand new region. In Heart Gold, Gold's successor, Ethan, had even taken his accomplishments from him, being the one to catch the Pokemon Red had fought so hard for. Mewtwo, Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. His life is over for him now. He became such a legend that there was nothing left of him to even be proud of himself. I finished Glitchy Red yesterday. When I finally checked my trainer card, there was a sprite of Red as appeared in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. But in the game's same monochrome color scheme, it was just red and green. When I looked closer, the red pixels making up his shirt looked darker and arranged oddly, almost like he was bleeding from the chest. None of my badges or time I played the trainer ID just that sprite. When I returned to the menu, instead of my name appearing as red, there was the word gone from my trainer card. I selected it, and this time the card was blank. Another text box, red talking, go ahead and forget me now. Goodbye. The game reset, the way it does after you beat the champion, and this time there was only one new option, new game. I found my Game Boy Color earlier today and I started playing it on there. When I played it on my SP, the screen lit up and everything was normal. I had to start a new game on my Fire Red because it wasn't working again. Even bootlegged Red version plays normally, no glitches, but I can never see Red's silence the same ever again, or even the hilarious mixing knowing Glitch City bugs. I have a much deeper respect for the silent protagonists in the game. For all we put them through, Lavender Town used to creep me out, but now I find it very peaceful. As even Red, who wanted to revenge on a world who had treated him horribly, could never mess with the resting place of the fallen Pokemon. Someday I hope I stop waking up with scratches on my torso. That was the main story, but sooner or later, someone added in something else. If you don't want to hear the next parts, then you just kind of end the video now. But, the next part kind of is pretty lengthy, about the same size as the other one. It explains what happened afterward. New information update by Spike Fertar about the battle replacement Red and putting him to rest, making the nightmares end. I played Glitchy Red, and unlike the creator, when I reached Red on Mount Silver and Soul Silver, I knew I had to face him, hoping to end my nightmares of him. My team was all ready, all at level 100. I had Espeon named Sunlight, a Lucario named Reno, and a Latios named Bluey. My first Pokemon and partner who helps me beat both Kanto and Johto, a Feraligatr called Gator, a Dragonite called Spike, and a Lugia called Guardian. This team had helped me through thick and thin. We had almost finished the battle frontier, but I digress. Yes. Before we faced Red, I spoke to them. I know it was just a game, but my Pokemon could sense my feeling from it as before we walked out the final door to Mount Silver Summit where Red waited. They all gathered around me as I spoke to them. I don't remember much of my speech to them, but hear what I do. Here we stand, my team, at the door to the final battle. We have been together for so long, beaten so much. We had our wins and our losses, but we become stronger from them. Outside this door is Red, the legendary trainer and the cause of nightmares and pain. I never ask much from you since I don't want to overdo your limits, but we have to win here. I don't know how it plays out, but know that if he kills one of you, you will be avenged by each of us. I love you all and will do what I can to ensure we all live to see another day. I heard each of my Pokemon cries in union, and I finished my speech by saying, together we are unbeatable. I walked through a door to begin a battle with Red. The sound I heard as I walked onto the summit was Lavender Town instead of the peaceful winds. I walked on, and as I reached Red, he stood there facing me. He spoke to both of us. This is where he left me, on a cold cliff with nothing. I am not a hero here, but a final boss. However, when you fall here, I will take your place and become hero once more. I am Red, the legendary trainer and true hero. The battle then started. His first Pokemon was level 255 Pikachu, who looked much more evil than normal. I sent out Reno to combat it. Pikachu went first, of course, with a Volt Tackle, which deal massive damage to Reno. But he withstood the attack quite well and took out Pikachu with one Earthquake. Instead of Pikachu fainted, the game said Pikachu died. Red sent out Charizard, who was at the same level as Pikachu, and it took out Reno. The game said Reno died. I spoke to the what? And this is very important written down here. I spoke to the whatever as the message appeared. He fought well, Reno. I'll pray for you. Safe passing. I sent out Gator, and once again Charizard attacked, but it missed and got a powerful mouthload of Hydro Cannon, taking it down. And this game said it had died. Red Red's next Pokemon was a Venusaur, which took down Gator as the message was displayed. It said, "This hurt me a lot. You've been with me from the start, Gator. Know I love you, and I will ensure you get a proper burial when this is over." Sunlight took the stage next and killed Venusaur. Red then sent out Lapras, who looked like the other three was over level 200. Sunlight lasted quite a while against the Lapras, but was killed after I knocked Lapras to yellow health. Once again, I spoke to my dead Sunlight, saying, "You fought well, my friend. You took these attacks head on and almost took out 2 of his Pokemon, and I promise you a burial when this is over, no matter what state I'm in." Guardian took the shape. Oh my god, I'm very bad at reading. Guardian took the stage next and took out the last of Lapria's health. I could sense Red was getting worried now. His next Pokemon was Snorlax, which once again was a high level. Guardian took a lot of damage, and like with Lapras, he was killed when Snorlax was in yellow. Another praise for my dead Pokemon. My Guardian, you have defended me with my honor since I caught you. The sea will keep you with your passing, but like the other, I will bury you correctly. At this point, I had only 2 left, Bluey and Spike. So Bluey went next, and he finished off the Snorlax. Red only had 1 left now. He sighted onto the screen alongside his last Pokemon, Blastoise, and said, "This can't be how I can have just this 1 left. Does my story truly end here?" Bluey now faced Blastoise. He fought well, but I'm still lost him to Blizzard. As the died message appeared, I had no tears anymore, just determination. "Thank you, Bluey. I will miss you greatly. You have been a faithful partner to me for a year now, and I will miss you, just like I miss the others." Now it was down to Spike to free me from nightmares of Red. When I sent him out, I saw on his design there was a picture of the other 5 Pokemon who had just lost their lives, and I cried a little before I said, "We will avenge them, Spike. It ends here." And it did in my victory. Outrage knocked out Blastoise, with Draco Red health. Red was on the screen, and he was silent until he returned to the overworld. Red was facing me before he gained a maniac look in his eyes, and as he pulled out a knife and he went to stab me. However, he was stopped as all of my Pokemon, including the ones that had died, appeared around me and saved me. I noticed the game had my Pokemon protecting me, and Red was on the floor. I spoke to Red directly, saying, "This is the end now, Red. But you know, I'm not angry or hurt or annoyed at you for what you did. You were the hero once, you made the series, but even if you are no longer the hero of the newer games, many fans will still hold you in high regards. Many miss you in games. I know you hate the world for what it's done to you. Do remember this. Millions of fans still love you and would love to see you return in Pokemon. Your team loves you as well. Never forget you are still the main hero of Pokemon no matter what." Red looked at me. The maniac look was gone, and the Pokemon surrounded him as well. None looked like Death had hit them. My character then turned around to leave the peak before Red said, "Thank you, Michael," my real name. "You are right about everything. When you next want to play my games, I will leave a gift to you to say thanks. No, Red, thank you for helping me to better understand the silent protagonist, and I will come in to chat with you whenever I can." I told him, and I swear I saw a smile before the game faded to credits. I played my Pokemon Blue not long after the battle with Red. His gift to me was a Mew and a chance to have all 3 starter Pokemon. I still have Glitchy Red. It says Glitchy Red, but whatever, when I play sometimes. The game runs normally now through there are still glitches. No, there are still glitches, sorry, now and then. So my battle with Red opens his heart, and now I can chat with him more often. I also have much deeper partnership with my Pokemon now. I battle Red on Mount Silver when he's there, and it's all normal again, because you forgot the S for some reason. All his Pokemon are back to their normal look, and Red himself is happier. Even my nightmares have gone to Red now. I can live normally now.